Hello and welcome. You're viewing the Citizens Journalist podcast, Mesa County Compass, that brings you the news that you can use from a different point of view. I'm Ruth.
I'm Lisa.
And together we are Mesa County Compass. Our goal is to create an informed, current, active citizenry armed with the facts. We will be covering what's new to you, what it means to you, what you can do about it, and provide you access to the decision makers when we can. Good afternoon. You're here with Mesa County Compass this afternoon, and we have interviewing today Lynette Wilhelm, who is with the Save the Orchard Mesa Pool Committee. In fact, I think she's probably the biggest instigator of all of this and has got a lot to report to us. And welcome, Lynette.
Thank you. I would like to say I'm not the biggest instigator. I think Marianne Tegman is definitely the biggest proponent and pusher of. She's really good at organizing and keeping this group going and encouraging everyone. There's a good core group of the Save the Pool committee that's there, and I'm kind of I am there, but I'm floating. I'm so much busier sometimes at the times of the city council meetings and stuff, so I'm not always able to be as rallying at those meetings and stuff. So,
but you're doing a good job behind the scenes.
Yes, doing my best, doing as much as I can behind the scenes when I can't, be in front of everybody. So she's doing a great job.
Give us a little bit about what you're all about and how did you get involved?
I've been swimming at the pool for 21 years now. I've been swimming there at Orchard Mesa Pool, and that's regularly lap swimmer there. And I'm a little younger than the typical age of a lap swimmer at the pool. And that before that, I was 21 or so. Before that, it was swimming at the pool. So I've been a long time participant at the pool since I was 5 years old. I did swimming lessons here. But in 2020, from what I remember, the city council tried to close down the use of Orchard Mesa Community Pool. And I heard about it after, because I had just had a baby and I had been unable to swim for the 6 months previous leading up to that fight. And it was a big fight with the city council. And the community rallied and we got the pool kept open. It was really great. And then COVID hit, and the fate of the pool just kind of sat there like everything else and hung. They did reopen it when we were allowed to, swim, and, so they kept it open. And then in 2024, so in 2022, someone discovered along the lines that Orchard Mesa Community Pool didn't have anyone who was in charge, basically, one direct entity in charge of it. In fact, we discovered at that time, it kind of actually is a tail end of 2008, the crash of 2008. In 2008, sometime along the way, the budget for the pool kept getting shrunk, and there were pool committees that were in charge of making sure everything was being kept current and maintenance between the city, the community, the county, and the school district, because it was still Orchard Mesa Middle School as well there. Right. The three of them had a pool committee where people went through and worked together to make sure the Orchard Mesa Community Pool was together. Well, somewhere because of the budgets and the communication, different boards, we lost the pool groups and we're kind of disbanded. It might have even been 2020, when I'm not even sure all of the clear history of what happened or whatever. Right. But in 2022, we discovered there was nobody pressing or encouraging for the pool. So the city brought it up that it needed the Parks and Rec. There's Parks and Rec, not the city, because you got the city council and you've got the Parks and Rec, even though they're working together in the same government environment. Parks and Rec realized that it needed to be updated. There needed to be some things done to it, and there was nobody basically calling the shots or making the decisions on this. So in 2022, it was brought to the attention, and that's when everything kind of went what do we do? And government entities started to try to bail out on running our pool or keeping our pool, or what were they going to do? So anyway, so since then we've been fighting for Orchard Mesa County pools. So I think that gives quite a bit of background for
and there's a couple of things that I think people should know. One is that we have had that Orchard Mesa community pool for 40 years. And it seems to me like when you are the head of Parks and Rec, from what we have read, it was Ron Sherbideau and the city manager at the time, Greg Caton, that wanted to get rid of it. And they said, no, it's not viable. However, it is the only recreation that's available really out on Orchard Mesa for the public, and especially with the new sustainability and adaptation plan that they just passed. One of the things that they said that they wanted and that they quoted is there's all these parks very close to people, and that we want to make sure that we can bike or we can walk or we can take some form other than a car to be able to recreate or to be able to get to a job or whatever. And yet, on the other hand, they're saying, let's close the pool down. And this pool issue is getting very imminent because the school district has said, which is a part of the ownership of the pool right now, that August 15th, they'll either have a deal or they'll start tearing it down.
Right.
And I do think that the city council has put a lot of the onus on the school that they're being unreasonable in wanting to shut it down. And the school has said that we're not in the recreation business, we're in the education business. And that since it is the city that takes care of the pool and receives any proceeds from the pool, that they really should be the school district.
Owners, yes.
Yeah, the school district's willing to give the property that is the pool and the gym sit on, and the pool, and just say it's yours, and you can have the $800,000 from the county. And so I think that shift needs to be brought right back on city council and say, this is something that, again, it fits in with your recycle plan, that you want to make sure that things just continue on. And when I've been looking, there are pools in use that are over 100 years old, that are community pools. Right. So it isn't like this pool could not be saved.
Right. Yes. Oh no, we have a plan that
could
save. Well, not my plan, but we have a plan that the city council requested that we could save the pool. We can, save the pool, and that to me, the idea there's two conflicting messages with everything that's going on. First of all, the city council wanted this feasibility. This is a feasibility plan that I have in my hands that was ordered by the city council, and the Grand Junction Parks and Rec wanted this feasibility study, and the city council wanted it before they took on the pool ownership to see what they were getting. As quoted by last year in 2023 by the mayor at the time in February, was they didn't want to inherit a lemon. They wanted to know what it was, so they paid quite a bit of money, and we're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars, to pay for this feasibility study. Excuse me. And the problem is that we had in 2023, actually, no, so they paid money. They used taxpayer money to pay for this feasibility study, and this feasibility study has been sitting now on a shelf. Nobody's done anything with it. However, at the time after the feasibility study was done, they all decided, well, we're going to keep the pool open until the CRC, the Community Rec Center, is built, and the projected date for opening that was 2026. So we have a tentative promise from the city council, from the school district, and at the time the county, at least, I can't remember if the county was already trying to bail out of the keeping the pool open, or they left their money to do what they wanted, and they said they were bailing out. But at least two entities that I recall promised to keep the pool open until 2026. So I think the feasibility study is sitting because they're going, well, we have until 2026 to deal with this. It's a level of procrastination. And so they've had this, though. It's, let's see. It was 2022 that they determined this. It took until February of 2023 to determine, okay, go ahead with the feasibility study. They had already spent some money on it. finish it all out, know exactly what we're getting. Then it was determined in October of this last year that they would go ahead and set it aside, but they're going to keep the pool open till 2026. The school district coming along and now setting this arbitrary date. And there I can kind of see from their viewpoint, it's like, well, it's been 2 years. Well, that's not exactly. It's not been exactly 2 years since then, and there was a flooded promise. There seems to be a lot to me. I can be very frustrated sometimes with the school district, with the city council, because there seems to be a lot of flooded promises out there, and I don't know if we're needing to get them in writing from all of them and make this board know or whatever. I know that Orchard Mesa Middle School was agreed upon with the bond that was sold to taxpayers. That bond, they told us that if we voted and agreed to the bond to build Orchard Mesa Middle School, that they would, in turn, once the school was built, they would give the pool to the city. They would hand over the pool, the ownership to the pool, to the city to continue to run it. That was a promise made to voters at the time. That the school district is now, they're not handing this over. They're just saying, well, we're going to demolish it because in this feasibility study, it does say the final decision regarding the future of the facility will be made by Mesa County District 51 as the owner of the facility. And I'm going, okay, but you promised taxpayers, a board somewhere along the line, someone with, legislative abilities and capabilities and budgeting capabilities said they would give this.
To pass this bond.
Yes, to pass this bond, we will hand the pool over to the city. So there's a promise. So where's that promise that's being, followed through or fulfilled? Then the city council, well, we'll keep it open until 2026 with the CRC. Well, right now the school district is threatening to demolish it, and the city is not going, wait, we made a promise to taxpayers. We said we'd keep it open. We need to keep this open. So we need to say, okay, we understand you want to demo it, but we made a promise to taxpayers, and we need to not go back on our word with that. So there, it's convoluted. And I kind of understand their point of saying it was 2 years ago that this whole conundrum was brought up and cleared, but it's not been 2 years. It's only been at this point since the feasibility study last October. So we're not quite at a full year, and I can see the city council going, well, we can push it down the line. We can kick it down to the next.
They are very good at
yes,
kicking the
most government entities are going to be very good at kicking things, down the road. But if you made these promises while you were in positions, positions of office, then you need to make sure that the next board does not fall on your promise to them. So,
and we did hear that at City Council last Wednesday we can't make any sort of an arrangement for a future City Council. However, I go back to the fact that Orchard Mesa Pool has been there for 40 years.
Yes.
And there is no other recreation facilities available there.
Yes.
Even the CRC is going to be, 5 miles away?
Yep, that's on the other side of town.
It's on the other side of town. Are you going to send your 10-year-old on a bus to the other side of town to do some swimming for a couple of hours by themselves? I think not.
No, not at all. Not at least from Orchard Mesa.
Yeah,
and you're not going to be sending.
So that isolates
over 5th
Orchard
Street,
Mesa.
we could. That would be really safe.
Through the downtown. Do you know the industrial network, the industrial complex that's around Riverside Parkway, and all of those businesses? I mean, those are the trades. Those are plumbing and heating, and there's also a ton of homeless in this area. That they'd have to be transferring from community or Orchard Mesa all the way over to the north side of town.
Oh, you run zip line down.
But that only gets you to the sidewalk area that's over by the botanical gardens. Then you've got to go through, you've got to at least go all the way down 7th Street to Patterson. Then you've got to go down Patterson down to over by 28. It's just not busy and dangerous. My kids are 16 and 14, and I allow them to ride from our home in the off of 27.5 Road down to CMU, which is down, it's only a couple miles, and they ride their bikes and they're on Patterson. But I am always leery. I know that there's a lot of traffic on that road, so if something does go bad, then people can see and hopefully help them. But if something goes bad, it's also really busy. So it's the possibility of them getting, hurt to me is always there.
And like you say, your children are older too. What about the younger children that have no option whatsoever?
Yeah. So during the summer, here's the thing. Orchard Mesa Community Pool, when you say it's the only one, it is the only one year round. It's the thing that we have from September until, because Lincoln Park closes after Labor Day weekend.
Right.
So from September to May, we only have Orchard Mesa Pool. Lincoln Park is only 3 months a year, and the community center isn't even built right now. So you close the pool this year, that means right now 2 years of nothing in between the winter session. So.
Well, and my other concern is, so come 2 years, then what does the city want to do with that property? If they don't want to keep it open, is that going to be raised for more housing that doesn't benefit the
community that it's
at
being
all?
built for?
Right.
The low income housing, or the sustainable, the low income housing is what they keep, I don't know
density.
High density.
Yeah, but they're still not low income.
Well,
let's make that a point there. Right. It's affordable, maybe.
Oh, there we go.
It's attainable.
Affordable housing. That's
it's
attainable.
Or
now they're changing it then. If it's attainable, because it was sold as affordable housing.
Right.
Originally, when all these apartments and all these things are coming in, these developers are selling us this idea on affordable housing. That's what it was. So now it sounds like to me that if they're changing it to attainable housing. So no, it's not.
So it's not even affordable.
It's not affordable anymore. Not to the people who need it.
And
not to the people
all of the housing that they've done so far is all market rate.
Right. Oh
so
yeah.
It's
not
affordable.
There's no affordability
right.
to
and it's
to
not
any of it.
designed for the majority of the people that live in the community.
Right.
Especially in the community down Orchard Mesa. And I guess that, when I talk to people about this, the concern is, well, I don't use it. And I'm thinking, but don't you have a heart for the community, for other people that need it and can use it? And I was surprised when you put the videos from your Save the Pool, how much use there is. So And is it affordable to go to the pool?
I would say yes. I mean, a monthly pass, an annual pass for a family. I don't have those exact numbers on me, but to me, I would pay for that for my family to swim. If not, $5, my kids go and swim, and that gives you the slide these days now. So you've got the slide and the pool, and they can spend however long they want at the pool. So let's see,
was that the high safe?
Yeah. Yes. Oh yeah. So yeah, there's tons of use. I mean, there's the just alone that preschool that's on the preschool that's on the corner of Uniweep and 27 and a half. They use that pool all the time, but the city has the Parks and Rec has their own STARS programs that half of them go to Lincoln Park and half of them go to Orchard Mesa Pool. So my son is a lifeguard for the Parks and Rec, and he is at Lincoln half the time, and he's at Orchard Mesa, and he is always so stressed when those parks, those day camps take up over the pool all summer long. I didn't even realize how much they come from the hours of 1 to 4 or 5 every day. They come and they've got their breakdown, their city. They've got different camps that are coming through there the whole time, and he's got so many kids that he's watching the whole time. It's exhausting, but that use is there. It's being utilized by the city. It's
not just setting there.
And it's odd. It has to be torn down. It can't be renovated, and it's being used. That doesn't sound like it can't be renovated if it's being used. So talk to us about how much that would cost and what it would look like from the feasibility study.
So again, everything is coming from the feasibility study for me and their discussion.
And where could people find this feasibility study if they were interested?
So that I know that this is available through the Grand Junction, the city website. I know that this has to be somewhere on the city website, but floating through the city website to find the information that you need. Sometimes you might have to search Orchard Mesa Pool Survey or Orchard Mesa Pool Survey 2023 feasibility study. So, and I'm going to pull up, I printed everything off, and I'm sorry I have to pull it up on my email because The last few pages I printed off, I left on the printer. So unfortunately it makes, it's a little bit, but I do have it actually on my phone. Unfortunately, okay, I don't have those exact numbers, but I do know that this feasibility study is split into two sections. So there's updating and repairing and replacing the things that are needed in the pool. And it is extensive. It is the electrical system. It is the HVAC system. It is...
and this is from not being maintained for at least since 2008, right?
No, I don't think that it's a lack of... Because when things did break, they have maintained everything. It's just... use over time, over life. You've got a pool, and admittedly this pool pumps water molecules into the air. Water molecules or any molecules break down things over time.
Right.
So it's just a simple
They rust
basic.
and bust.
Yes, exactly. That would be the best description of it. Rust and bust. So let's see.
And they probably would have the same thing at the new pool.
Well, yes, you will have the same inclinations. You will have the same level of things getting old, rusting, and needing to be maintained and taken care of. But it was the electrical system, the HVAC system, and have just gotten old, and they're difficult to get to. Codes and building are... I will say they are improving. We try to improve them over time to make things accessible and make things better for maintaining, for keeping things going longer. So what was done in the 80s isn't necessarily what we would choose to do today to keep everything. So, oh gosh, I'm so embarrassed that I have no of the financial budget. But they were talking about... So you have two parts. You have the gym that is part of the Orchard Mesa community pool that's left standing, and you have the pool itself. And the maintenance of the pool, if you replaced and repaired those parts, and they actually have, in this feasibility study, they have it all broken down by part, and this is they have it. The HVAC system will be this much, the electrical system will be this much, but they have some other additional things in there, like resurfacing the top of the pool deck, fixing some of the foundation cracks that are there in the pool. So the overall budget of repairing the pool was between $590,000 to $5,900,000 to $6 million. But that seemed to be an almost even, I could say an even split, but I don't want to speak directly that they're talking about the center itself altogether. So the pool itself part could easily be repaired. It could be maintained and updated at this point for less than the $6 million that's being projected.
Right.
So the other part of the center, the gym and the few classrooms, or a couple classrooms that are left open down there, like the band room, and that need to be mitigated for asbestos and then updated, because those have not been being maintained. That system, that's when they talk about, well, it's not been being maintained. That's because the doors are locked. Nobody is going in there. Nobody is seeing it. People have broken in and stopped up things, plugged up piping, and so it is not being maintained and cared for. But Orchard Mesa Pool, at the very minimum of it, is at least being maintained and cared for.
And used.
So, yes, and used.
So what about the boiler system? Do you know about the boiler system in that?
Which about it?
Do you know, is it a part of that part of what's going to need to be replaced?
Yes,
Yeah.
the boiler system. So I actually found it in my phone.
Oh, yay!
Yes, I'm like, oh my word.
All right.
Isn't that so fun? So now I just need my phone to cooperate, and there we go. Open it up. So yay, I'm so excited I have these numbers. So so we had option 1, meeting notes. Nope, those are workshops. So there was a lot that went into discussion, and this feasibility study is very, it's detailed, and it it kept everything open. It explained every option.
Mm-hmm.
So there were 7 original options presented to the city, and they threw a couple of workshops with the city, which, side note, I kind of felt was kind of hilarious. So they were having workshops at the Lincoln Park barn the morning after they'd have a city council meeting at 8 in the morning. So you have a workshop for the city for people to come to at 8 in the morning, where how many of the valley is working or at their jobs or driving children to school, getting their kids ready to go to school. But this is when we're having a workshop to talk about the Orchard Mesa Community Pool and feedback from this. You know, like, hey, does this seem like the best time to be arranging to have a workshop meeting and present this to the community? And what's your feedback?
Right.
And in fact, it says in some of the workshops, 3 residents attended. I'm like,
because only 3 residents knew about
knew about it from the night before.
We seem to have that problem with our city council. Our notifications on anything major are nil to none.
And even knowing the agenda, because we looked for the agenda for this Wednesday, and it wasn't posted. So how do you know that that's going to have something on Orchard Mesa Pool?
Exactly.
In fact, I didn't even know anything about for sure what was going to be on the agenda till I walked into that room. And then they handed it to me. Thanks.
You can find it online, but it's a new thing to find it
online
beforehand.
We needed to go and do some talking about the sustainability and adaptation program that they did implement, and we watched all week long for that to come up, the agenda to come
see
up,
if they
and
were
it was
going
not
to.
there.
Right?
Till
Friday? Oh, no, excuse me, not Friday. Till Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday. Yeah, like Monday or Tuesday. Well, when the district dropped, quote unquote, the bomb on the valley, to me it was a bomb dropped through the Daily Sentinel, and that was the Daily Sentinel scooping up that information and acting like this was the scoop of the year, that they were going to close Orchard Mesa Pool and demo it.
what kind of is the scoop?
It was, and I'm like, wow, thanks for letting anyone know, like what's occurring, what's happening, so that we don't, that was totally to sell paper, so you could just see it all across the board, because they're going, it's going to demo it like tomorrow, or oh wait, we have 3 months here, okay, so that's not exactly happening tomorrow, but we've got 3 months to prepare for this. But then the city council meeting, they didn't even have the pool on the agenda. This bomb is dropped by the Daily Sentinel, and then the city council meeting that's presented, there's nothing about the pool even brought to the council, and you're going, hello. And then finally, like right before they went, let's add it to the agenda, let's now talk about it Tuesday, and we'll have a workshop period of time between that. And that's what was finally, you've had like a week or two here to add this to the agenda.
It's just maddening.
It's very frustrating. So, it was just like, interesting how. So, it's going to take me a little bit, but you have a band room, a circulation room, and then a gym. So, I know that. And then a desk area. And then they have a lobby and locker teams. And then they come down here in the natatorium. I'm not sure what they're labeling each of these things. We have a musical room. And then we have an office, a pool mechanical, pool storage, spa, which is not even on any of the options. I'm not sure what they're referring to as options. But you have a cost breakdown here for everything. And these totals are coming up to $4,925,453, with that.
And so that was just for the band. We'll call it just the.
That was everything.
Yeah, including the pool, not including.
That did include the pool. That was the options. Let's see, summary option 1, and they're calling it option 1, and option 1 became option 2, and that's option 2 is to maintain pool. So that was a little bit of when they went from 7 options down to 5 options, and they've renumbered the options. This feasibility study. So we have site work and demolition, pavement, asphalt, site works, demolition, doors and windows, finishes. This says circulation. So it says band room. It says circulation there. So we have gym, desk, lobby. So in the lobby, or it says locker and teams. So again, like which lobby are we referring to? Because we know there's the middle area between the pool and everything. So then I get to element. I have plumbing and HVAC, and it says replace plumbing and drains, hot water system, but I still think that's part of the pool room. That's not part of the pool room. That's part of the gym. So this says total pool. And furnishings, or maybe this is pool equipment, pool allowance. So a light remodel, $500,000 to $700,000. All new pool mechanical equipment, mechanical room footprint to remain intact. Existing lap pool underground piping to remain. Existing water slide and associated mechanical systems to remain. Refinish water slide with new gel coat. Add new 100 square feet spa. So I'm wondering if they're talking about the hot tub, but and no, none of those, and that is in the $500,000 to $700,000 range. Cosmetic updates to the lap pool, new plaster, removal of surface corrosion, resurface starting blocks, new depth markers, and then they want to add minor features to lap pool, including an aqua zip-in volleyball, basketball, and log roll. So replacing the ADA lift. Replacing all safety and maintenance equipment. Replace portable ADA stair with similar make and model. New pool boilers, $100,000 allowance. New pumps, $25,000 allowance. New filtration system, $50,000 allowance. So these are just the allowances and the estimated costs to do the pool area. And then they have total pool, plumbing and heating. Let's see. So it's hard to understand without someone saying, and then they've got some furnishings. With this one, total pool says $924,500. So definitely pool storage. They have an additional pool storage mechanical area. It says spa, $12,000. Pool mechanical, $8,000. And then staff, demolition and labor to you've got some labor and stuff. So you've got the details of it, and then you've got labor.
So it seems like all of this stuff, considering what they have budgeted, especially for the sustainability, we were told by Dennis Simpson that they had $3 million that they could use on the sustainability and adaptation plan. And if they could, instead of saying, well, we're going to have to do all of this at once, do what we need to do to make the pool safe. I mean, if the gym's been closed for this period of time, make the gym a later issue.
Yes.
And not worry about the gym right now. That would definitely be something that would enable them to sustain what they already have.
Well, and if they do this updating, you can sustain it past the 2 years that we've got it going on. Right. And one of the things that seems to be forgotten is, and they're comparing the numbers between 2022 and 2021, 22. When they did this feasibility study, they compared numbers of 2021 to 2022, where we were still on lockdown off and on in 2021. Right. They were only allowing people to swim if you had a reservation. We were not allowed to have 2 lap swimmers in the pool to swim at the same time. Right. So we had failing numbers after COVID. And now you're trying to balance all of this based on those numbers. We have an increase in numbers. I guarantee you have an increase in numbers. The city is growing. If we think that the city is not growing, we're projected that it's not growing, but 1.2%. We've had a lot more growth in this city. I've lived here since I was 5 years old. I have driven on those streets since I was 16 years old. I know that this city is growing and changing, and we are not prepared for this growth or change that is occurring and happening in the city. It is growing and it's changing. So, but those numbers are based on or post-COVID numbers, and then the other idea is if you build it, they will come. Right. Which is the CRC. I understand that that's totally the support of the CRC. You built it and they will come. But I have watched Orchard Mesa Pool. As soon as Orchard Mesa Middle School no longer used it to teach swim lessons, they lengthened the lap swimming time for people to come. More people came at later times because they didn't have to get up at 6:30 or 5:30 to be there at the pool to swim before their jobs. So if they were, more people could come all the way to 1 o'clock. So people will utilize and come to the pool at longer times because it's available, because it's open.
Then you have to think of the fact that when they demo it, if they demo it, eventually, because the city is growing, they're going to have to go for another bond issue and another recreation center in Orchard Mesa. Why do we not take care of what we have and expand from there? rather than having to go through everything all brand new again.
Right. Care and maintenance of something that is already in place
Right.
is definitely more feasible and different than demoing it and then rebuilding. Obviously, as we can tell with the estimates with the CRC, which were grossly underestimated how much it was going to cost. And now they're asking, for more money, and they're needing more partnerships to build this CRC that they're so promoting. And I have heard from the original intention of the lap swimming pool that it has now shrunk even more down to that's what I keep hearing, and I haven't seen any feedback of the updated
Haven't seen
plans
a lot
for the
of things
CRC
going on at Matchett either.
No, so whatever is going on, but yeah, the projection with construction and estimates for everything. Are they projecting that there will be a economic crash that will allow them to build more affordably? Or are we going to see things just continue to rise the way that they have with inflation? And so,
and if they crash, nothing will be built anyway.
Right? Yeah. No, nothing will be back to square one in 2008, where everything stood still and stand still. Whatever, and our community and our centers will be gone. So, it's.
So, what would you propose with your group to help maintain this? How would you talk to the city about, I know that you go and you say, please save us, but how could you get through to the city that, one, it's an obligation, and maybe that the budget needs to be reevaluated in how it's spent regarding maintenance and keeping this facility and using money that they already have? Because what always bothers me is every time they want to do something, we need more money. But we know from Cody that they have a $322 million budget. And they seem to be able to do a road diet and take 5th Street, which is not really benefiting as many people as the pool does.
They can build a new skate park in Emerson, too.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Well, but what's going to take after the skate park? I mean, I was thinking about, as you were saying, I'm thinking about the skate park, and I'm like, okay, it's a concrete thing. It's, we're going to have some maintenance on it. I'm assuming, I'm hoping, the graffiti artists are going to go out and decorate, decorate the whole thing. Great.
And where are the parents going to park?
It's in between 4th and 5th Street.
And you're not going to have a lot of kids there. No. What you're going to have are millennial bikers that like to go out and play.
Yeah. No, there's no parking anywhere to do anything or maintain it. But I do know that there are nonprofit groups in Grand Junction that I believe, there are community groups. I'm sorry, not a nonprofit group. There are nonprofits that are claiming that they're helping kids in this valley. So help the kids by making pool passes more affordable, or giving those donations to the Orchard Mesa Community Pool. But there's not just nonprofit groups. There are community groups in this valley that I know of, that I am aware of, that talk about doing lots of good for the community. And if you really believe that you're doing good for the community, if you see something like this that is a failing, that is on the front page of the Daily Sentinel, whether you utilize the pool now or have ever utilized the pool,
I think it's important for the community to have a pool.
I don't think that a skate park is important personally. I do not have any skaters in my household as a mom. But do I know that there's skateboarders and rollerbladers and bikers out there? Absolutely. I would make the argument about bike lanes personally. Like, I want my kids on the sidewalks because the bike lanes can be so dangerous for them. I know bike lanes are helpful to people, but do people in Grand Junction really ride their bikes to work every day? I know one gentleman who did it for like 15 years from Orchard Mesa to the mall. He rode his bike, but one person who regularly rode his bike to work.
We do have a councilman that professes that he rides his bike.
Does he?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So,
but does that councilman have kids that he takes to the dentist?
Even if he's allowed. I'm okay with him having his bike lanes. Right. I am totally fine. We have some bike lanes. We have room. We can make our roads wider to accommodate the bike lanes and people enjoying it. So please come to us and make room in your budgets or help out with Orchard Mesa Community Pool. Whether you use it or not, it is a very viable part of the community.
And if people wanted to get involved with the pool, what would you suggest that they do?
First, you need to come to the city council meetings. We really need this. We need the outspoken standing room only support at the city council meetings. Wearing blue, if you can. Wear some blue. Even if you don't want to speak.
Wear a swim cap.
No. Hey, you want some, I call them Googles. Yeah, goggles. I call them Googles. Put your Googles on and stand outside. Wave some signs before the city council meeting. But if we could have a packed room at the city council meeting, you don't have to speak. You don't have to speak up and talk about. We don't need what I don't mean to insult anyone with them, but we don't need any more sob stories, I think, about the importance of this pool. I think we need facts and to keep pushing back on them with their facts. The Grand Junction City Council says that they are fiduciaries of the city of Grand Junction. They need to be financial fiduciaries for the budget and for the money spent in the city of Grand Junction. And while the city of Grand Junction people are not the ones using the pool, or Orchard Mesa residents are not the ones using the pool, they pool where people come from, and people come from all over Grand Junction outside of Orchard Mesa to use that pool. And when I say outside of Orchard Mesa, I'm not talking about outside of this our city, but there are people who come and swing by, use the pool on their way in and out of town. And I've seen people on an airline a day transfer over who wanted to use the pool. And they come and they use Orchard Mesa Community Pool, and they're impressed by Orchard Mesa Pool. They could not believe how nice of a facility it was for them. They're like, we swim at all kinds of pools, and this is the nicest facility that we've ever swam at. So that's outside of the city. But people who live in the city, and I don't mean the city terms, I mean Grand Junction.
Right.
You live in the Redlands, you live in Orchard Mesa, you live in the North area, you live in Fruitvale, you live in Clifton, you are Grand Junction, Colorado. That's what you write on your mailbox. You write Grand Junction, Colorado. Anytime I shop at Target, at Walmart, at any city market grocery store, I am spending tax-paying money at those stores, and those dollars are going to the city of Grand Junction. So the city, when they say something like, "Well, we're fiduciary responsible to only the Grand Junction inner city, the city guidelines." That's a cop-out. That's what I say. It's a cop-out to say, well, we are only responsible to the Grand Junction city residents. I'm going to start writing Redlands, Grand Junction, Colorado, and I want my Redlands money to stay out of the city of Grand Junction if they can't help support, the Orchard Mesa Community Pool or the city, who pays those tax dollars. We are all here in Grand Junction. We call ourselves Grand Junction, Colorado. You've got Fruita and Palisade on their ends, but it's a broad scope of people.
It is the Grand Valley.
It is the Grand Valley, and we all use this pool. And to say that you can't be there, to support, that's crazy. So we need people to show up. We need people to show up at the city council meetings. We need them in, blue shirts, supporting and helping and speaking. You don't have to speak up about how much it meant to you or how long you've been swimming at the pool. I took swim lessons when I was 5. My parents, we moved here from California, and my parents saw the canals around here, and they shoved us into swim lessons immediately. They wanted us to be good swimmers with the canals around here. A lot of them have been covered up, but there's still a lot of open canals in this valley. Kids can fall into them and have fallen into them and drowned all the time. We have the river. We have the river as a strong recreational thing. To use your summer numbers as a representation for how many people use the pool, that's not an accurate number, because Orchard Mesa Pool is an indoor facility that is used more, during the months of September to May than it will, because there's a lot of more outdoor things you can do during the summer months. So, but come speak at the city council meetings, join the Save the Pool Facebook group. The other thing is, in the Save the Facebook Pool group, we have listed all of their email addresses. Their email addresses of the city council. We have the email addresses for the school district. We have had for the county to send emails. Their emails need to be flooded with emails about how important this is. If you don't want to speak at a city council meeting, you can send an email. You can send daily email. You can send it on repeat. So call the Daily Sentinel and put who said it. The little who said it. Right. Send letters to the editor about what it means and what you think, or what could be done. How can we come together and utilize our brains to improve this situation. What groups can we reach out to help support the community when they say they're here to help and support the community with this pool? So those are lots of different options that you can reach out and do. And then also use the pool. You know,
Yeah, there you go.
Go use it. Take your grandkids swimming on the weekend, or find a way or time.
I'm offended.
I have a 21-year-old that's heading towards that range. So yeah, take your kids to the pool, take your grandkids to the pool. Just go and hang out, recreate, an afternoon at the pool. See if
It's a great place to hold a birthday party.
It
Yes.
is.
Been there many times.
Oh yeah, from September to May, it's a great place to have a pool party. They've allowed us to rent tables, and the pool is regularly full on Saturdays with reserved birthday parties for kids in the winter. Winter
so
birthdays are never any fun to plan a winter birthday for the kids. You either have no snow or it's
It's
tons
so cold
of snow.
you can't get out.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't go sledding. With the kids. It's hard to haul 10 kids. I've done it. You haul 10 kids up to Old Powderhorn to go sledding or something. But the pool party that my daughter had in February, was wonderful and she loved it. So yeah, but use the pool and call the people and email them and let's disrupt their lives a little bit. So
let's get this pool saved.
Pool saved.
Well, you've been watching Mesa County Compass. This is the truth as we see it, the facts as we know them. You decide. Thank you.
Thank you, Lynette, for joining us.
Thank you, ladies.
Appreciate it.